Hi. From the Emily and Bill anthology, tonight I'm going to read the first of the Emily and Bill books, which is Emily's Magic Unicorn. There once was a unicorn. His name, well, it was Bill. He saw a pretty girl one day out on a daisy-decked hill. "Hello there," said the young girl. "My name is Emily. Forgive me for saying this, but you look, unicorny." "Well, yes, that is what I am, Bill," he quickly replied. "See the horn upon my head?" he asked with quite some pride. "Well, where have you ever seen one of these before?" Emily scratched her chin and said, I'm really not sure." "Maybe on a rhino," Emily then excitedly cried. "Again with the rhinos," Bill, he softly sighed. "Rhinos, they do have horns, oh yes, of course, it's true. But tell me, is this something a rhinoceros can do?" First Bill shook his head, and then he shook his tail, and lo, a magic carpet appeared, and into the air they sailed. "Please don't think me rude," said young Emily, "but I'm not that good a flyer as I think that you can see." Bill turned around and then turned back. Oh, the sight he'd seen! Poor little Emily, she had gone bright green. "Don't fret," Bill smiled comfortingly and softly stroked her hand. "Seatbelts on, everyone," he said. "We're coming into land." They came down onto the ground as gently as could be. "Well, that was fun, I must say," chirped up Emily. "I thought you were afraid," Bill, he did inquire. "Only at first," she answered. "Not when we went higher." "Do all unicorns fly then?" she asked him curiously. "Not always," Bill responded. "We use a boat at sea." "Are there many of you?" Emily politely asked. "There's only one of me," he said, and at his own joke he did laugh. "Oh, you silly thing, you!" Emily did giggle, and tickled him behind the ears, which made Bill snort and wiggle. "What I actually meant was, I think you understand. Do you have a family?" "Yes, but in another land. I wanted to explore, you see, so I left home one day, and despite all of my magic, I got lost on my way." Bill looked sadly at the ground, so Emily rubbed his head. "We will get you home again," she confidently said. "What can you tell me, sweet Bill, about from where you came? Was it very far away? And does it have a name?" "I just called it home," Bill answered with a slump. Then he had a thought, and again up he jumped. It had a lovely waterfall and fields of blue and gold. Wait, I remember something more that I once was told. My mother said to me one time, "Bill, if you lose your way, find a pretty girl who is upset by your dismay. If her smile is sparkly, and if her voice is nice, say to her, 'Oh, pretty miss, would you please say my name thrice?'" Emily, she breathed in deep, and did as she was bade. "Bill, Bill, Bill," she whispered. There was silence in the glade. Suddenly, up in the sky, an arrow did appear. It pointed to a far-off place, and flashed, "Bill, you live here." Bill turned and said to Emily, "You're the nicest girl I've known. Not only did you make me laugh, you've shown me my way home." "So this must be goodbye then," she answered ruefully. "Not at all," said her brand new friend. "You're coming home for tea." He shook his head and tail to make the carpet reappear. "All aboard," he cried. Emily said, "Please, can I steer?" "Well, now that's a question. Have you flown a magic carpet before?" "I've flown a kite," said Emily. "It's just the same, I'm sure." "Off we go then," chuckled Bill, as Emily took the tassels. "There's not much traffic this time of day. We shouldn't have any hassles." Emily put the carpet in first gear and lifted it aloft. and crashed into a tree. Oh, it was all his fault, she coughed. Are you sure? Inquired Bill. It looked like he was parked. Well, no harm done, said Emily. He can just respray his bark. Up and up they swiftly rose, up and then away. We'll be there in no time, Bill. Yeah, I was afraid that's what you'd say. Emily flew ever faster, and Bill's bum gave a toot. He groaned, I wished I'd walked home or brought a parachute. Whoa, watch out for that. But too late, Emily heard, and on his head the whole way home, Bill had a nest of birds. Emily flew confidently. Flying seemed to suit her. She said, this sure beats any fun I've had out on my scooter. I must say you're a natural. And Emily glowed with pride. Now put her into cruise control. The rest of the way we'll glide. They soon reached the arrow's end and landed in a glade. Bill, why are you shaking? Don't say you were afraid. Oh, not at all, he smiled and nuzzled Emily. But I've been away so long. Will they remember me? But before the words were finished, his answer reached his ears. It's Bill, my son is home, said a mother's voice through tears. Bill turned on his hooves and raced up to her side. They kissed and hugged each other, and rainbow tears they cried. Emily, she turned away so they could have some privacy. But Bill's mother voice called out, this girl brought my son home to me. From out of the woods then 100 unicorns appeared. They made a circle around Emily and bowed their horns and cheered. However can I repay you? Bill's grateful mummy asked. And won't you stay for dinner? We've got some lovely grass. Emily gave her biggest grin and said, please be assured, the smiles of happiness I see, they are the best reward. The unicorns cried, she's the best, and lifted her aloft and gave her a dress made from unicorn hair that was shimmery and soft. They all spent the next 4 hours partying and dancing. Emily did all the songs because, well, unicorns just can't sing. And then there came the words that made everybody grieve. I really want to stay forever, but I've got to leave. The unicorns were all so sad but understood that it had to be. Bill knew better than anyone about missing your family. Will we ever meet again? He asked his newfound friend. I've had the best time ever with you. I don't want it to end. I'd love to come and visit, Bill. I'd love to see you every day. But how could it be, though? I live so far away. Well, that's no worry, said Bill's mother. I know just what to do. She shook her magic horn and said, here, this is just for you. Now there is no distance between here and your home. Emily, please accept from me a magic carpet of your own. Emily was open-mouthed at such generosity. She gave Bill's mum the biggest hug anyone did ever see. So now when she comes home from school and all her homework's done, Emily takes her magic carpet out and zips away to Bill's for fun. Sometimes he will meet her on his own carpet in the sky. Race you back to my place, he'll say, and away they both do fly. Of course, Emily almost always wins. She rides the skies with ease. The only time that Bill comes first is if there are some trees. That was the story of how Emily met Bill the Magic Unicorn. It's taken from this book here, the Emily and Bill Anthology, and this, trivia fans and children, if you're watching this is my beautiful daughter Emily there. And I don't know if you heard any noise in the background as I was recording this, but my beautiful daughter Emily is on the telephone there listening to this. Thanks for your time, folks.